Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? So good, I hope. So good. I have lots to talk about today. You know what? I always feel like after the weekend, I can't wait to just get together and chat, you know? Let's see, where are we? Let me know when you're here. Today I am going to be working on the, good morning, Keels. I'm going to be working on the mom art printable named after my mom. And I'm making cards, some Happy Mail cards for her featuring the mom art printable. So, and I'm going to be playing with my pan pastels and colored pencils this morning. I feel like I haven't pulled those out in a while, and I really want to work on getting to know my pan pastels more and more and more. And so the way we do that, we've talked about that before, is to use them, to just play with them, with whatever the tool is that you want to learn more about. Remember, they're tools but we need to be responsible for our own learning. I can give you tips and tricks, but you need to get used to it in your own hand. Like, how is that going to, how are we going to get that to work, right? So, if you're brand new here, if you would like, follow, and subscribe to Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, that would be greatly appreciated. And then, ask to join our private Facebook group, Stitch Along with Ann Corbiere-Scott Facebook group, and Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group, which is different than Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook page. And I'll tell you, sometimes I share some other videos in Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group, and there's an extra one in there that I made for my Ann Art and Arizona Retreat Facebook group, and I shared it in there because I thought it was something that we could all play with. And so check that out, and I will, hey, Donna. Oh my goodness, lots of people here today. There you go, Nancy. There you go. Hey, Valerie, Tam, Debbie. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I love our chats too, Nancy. I do. Okay, I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to pull out what I've been working on. I have so many things to share with you guys today. So many things. Okay, so I was playing around a little bit with my pan pastels. And I printed this on Hammermill cardstock this morning. Not this morning, but I'm saying this morning. I actually printed it a really long time ago. And Hammermill cardstock is what Copic users, like alcohol marker, I should say, artists use to print their print or stamp their artwork on to have the best results with their Copic, with their alcohol markers. But it's super, super smooth, and I thought, you know what? I bet you it would work really well for pastels. So there are many, many kinds of pastels. So there are like stick pastels, there are crayons, which are oil pastels. There are, go to an art store and there's a whole aisle of pastels. I have some pastel colored pencils, which I couldn't find this morning, and they're probably right in front of my face, but whatever. But I've been really intrigued with pan pastels, right? So they come in a little flat pot, and they are, and so you need to use an applicator of sorts to apply them to your substrate, right? So I found these little makeup applicators on Amazon, and you know you're going to use a lot of them because you want to. Well, number one, you have 2 sides and 2 ends, so that's 4, right? That's pretty cool. But once you start blending, that's when it gets a little tricky. But I will say I got a whole box of them on Amazon for next to nothing. I can't find that box, and oh, here we go. I think I've shared this before. So this box has 120 in there, and they are, you could use Q-tips, you could use, there's all kinds of things. I'm just showing you what I'm using. There you go. So, and I just store the used ones in a Ziploc bag. You know, my best tool, Ziploc bags. Okay, so here's what I colored this flower last night, and I wanted to combine some colors. So for the leaf, I used 3 shades of green. You could maybe do this with 1 shade and just continuing to layer the color. Like we could do that on some of these flowers. We can fiddle around with that a little bit. But I just wanted to see what would happen if I layered 3 colors. So, and green is our color of the month, and you know, we use green a lot because we do lots and lots of foliage and flora. So that's what I did here. And for the flower, I used yellow, orange, and pink. And so I want to build so I did like a light layer of yellow first, and I did it quite randomly because you'll see there are some white spots here every now and again, and I kind of wanted that. I want those lots of highs and lows, right? So before we start, everybody take a drink. And let's begin. So I started, like I said, with a light layer of yellow, and then I started to build the layers of yellow. Then I came in with my orange and started to build the layers of orange, and then I just had started with the pink. So I'm going to, so do you see how I just randomly chose spots for the color to deepen, for dips and highs and lows? So let's go here, and I'm just going to add ever so little bit of pink, and then I'm going to take a clean end, and I'll just kind of work that out. So this can be as intense or subtle as you choose. I'm really wanting to work on my blending skills, and so I'm just really taking my time with building my layers, right? And each time I add another layer, I can feel it. I can feel the dips start to happen, the dimensions start to happen. Right, so I'm just going to apply color. And then I'll blend it out, and then I'll apply some more color, and I'll blend it out. So I wanted to share with you, Just build, build, build. Yeah. And it's going to look like spots until we blend out. And that's the thing that I've been really intrigued with pan pastels, is the ability to blend. And for me, the oh, I love it so much. I started to, do you remember when I did this flower, remember? And I was like, I fell in love with the idea of the smooth blend. And so, with pastels. So now I'm going to take this clean one and I'm just going to start to blend out the edges. I want the center to be pretty, you could try a paintbrush. Absolutely, Valerie. Just try it. You could use your finger. You could just use whatever you've got in your house. If it's big swaths of area, I like to use a makeup sponge, which I don't think I have right here. But, and you know, makeup sponges you can get at the dollar store or Walmart or wherever. They usually come in kind of a big bag. Little by little. And I'm kind of feeling like, I'm loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. I want to like start to blend out, like deepen the other colors too. So let's come in with some orange right on either end of the pink. I feel like that is going to, we'll get a really nice kind of blendy ombre. And the same technique is true here. I want to add some color and then blend it out. And I will say this is a very relaxing technique, right? So let's take that and then I'm just gonna do the lightest of light circly blends. Oh, Peggy, so let's talk about Ornamentally Yours. So this time I'm being kind of secretive about what we're creating, but I'm telling you, you're going to have yourself a time. We are going to be making some art papers with some funky materials. Oh, you guys, it's I'm loving it so much. Okay, let's bring some yellows back in. Deepen those, and it's okay, remember, if you go over the edge, because we're going to be fussy cutting anyway. So I am using my mom art printable because I am creating some happy mail for my mom, who, remember, I put out the call if you're feeling so inclined to send my mom some happy mail to brighten her days. And it started to roll in, so keep those cards and letters coming. She is, like, every time she gets something, she texts me, which is awesome. Oh, Nancy, we're going to have ourselves a time, sister. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to pick a cleaner side because it's a lighter color. So speaking of, and I find myself having to blow off the, you know, the excess kind of chalky stuff that comes off. And I like to do that blend where we come in with the remember when we're coloring some other things, we've done like a light color, a darker color, like a couple of light, and then blending out with the lightest color. And that's what I'm kind of doing here. I'm going over all the deeper shades with the yellow, the pinks and the oranges with the yellow. And that's, oh my gosh, it's giving the prettiest blend. Just, and my little makeup applicator is barely touching my surface. Use a super light touch. And I'm also thinking, you know, because I can't stop myself, that I could come in with an eraser and erase down, give me some white, some lighter white spots, right? To give me some good highs. I'm liking that. And this kind of eraser is nice because it has that, see, it's round, but it has a sharper edge. Like it has a sharper side. And so you could do some skinny lines. There we go. That's making me so happy. Get some lights there. Every time I add a layer or take a layer of any kind, a layer of color or a layer of eraser, I'm getting more and more dimension, right? So I want to sit and ponder because I have a couple of ideas in my head, and so I want to ponder those a little minute. So I'm going to do right there. Let's see what I think. I don't know. To just get a little more dimension going on the leaves. Okay, so now I'm going to stop and I'm going to show you some stuff because I don't want to do something before I'm all the way ready. Okay, so do you remember last week we did the washi tape technique with our Neo 2s and then we die cut? So here's the final card. I did post this on social media so you can see how that turned out. This is going in the mail to my mom today. And then I also did, if you'll remember, I did one for my mother-in-law, whose favorite color is blue, and this will go in the mail to her today, too. So, I'm finding that I get a little bit lackadaisical about mailing them. And so I'm trying to, that's a goal, is to just make cards and then send them. I had this horrible news last night. I had a friend who I used to work with at Scraps of Love, and she was just a dear. She was just the sweetest girl. And she had some health challenges, and I had just been in the store, and we had a great catch-up visit, and we giggled and laughed and talked about our kids and talked about, all the things. And then not long after that, she had a little health setback, and so she was a breast cancer survivor, and she so her immune system was quite compromised, and then she went into ICU, and she would get a little bit better, and then she'd have a little setback, and then she'd get a little bit better, and then she'd have a setback, and I just found out that she passed. And the guilt I felt about not sending her a card was almost more than I can bear, because it's not like I don't have 5,000 cards already made. And so that is my, Tam, I'll talk to you about it later. That is my my advice to you is, let's be better about sending our cards. Let's be so much better about sending our cards, because you know the power of opening your mailbox and there's a handmade card inside your mailbox, right? So let's make that a goal, and maybe we can keep each other accountable for that. So speaking of cards, I got the loveliest card in the mail from none other than our famous Keely. And look at this. And this is one of my first art printables. And it is called Debbie. And she watercolored it like nobody's business. It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. And it accompanied, are you ready? A notebook with pictures from my whole retreat. And I know I haven't posted pictures from my whole retreat. I wanted to make sure that I thanked all of my donors first, my sponsors. And then my life was a little topsy-turvy. So I will start to roll out photos from the retreat and stories from the retreat. I promise I will. I have one more donor to thank publicly on social media, and then anyway, so I had lunch with Lori yesterday. Where is she? There she is, our personal yogi. And I said, this is where I'm going to start to plan next year's retreat. So I already have lots of big ideas, as you know. Anyway, while I was at lunch with Lori, I brought her a thank you gift for all that she did for us at the retreat. And then she brought me, are you ready for it? Look at this giant wooden paintbrush. Right? So I can't wait to hang this up on my wall in my studio. I love it, love it, love it. Oh my gosh. I just love it. And something else. And tell me who you think of when you see this. This covered dish. Who do you think of when you see it? Yayo. So look, it is pretty large, and it has it is covered in polka dots. Covered. So I was like, oh, what art supply can I fill this with? I don't know, but it's going on my on my art desk, and I will fill it with something. Isn't that the coolest? So, okay, what was the other thing I was going to tell you about? I know. Everybody take a drink first, because you won't believe it when I tell you. I was at the grocery store the other day doing some a recon mission for a new Adorn It. Well, I'm going to shoot for the beginning of February again, Debbie, but I've got to find a new location, obviously, because we need some more space, and availability, because who doesn't love to come to Arizona in February? Anyway, so so as soon as I secure my location, Deb, I will get the date out to everybody. So I was at Safeway the other day, and because I was doing some recon for a new assignment that I have from. It is absolutely, my art printables are all, if it's on my website, it is absolutely available. So, like I said, I was walking around taking pictures, and I'm sure people thought I was insane, but taking pictures of tin cans. That's a big clue. And as I was in line to check out, I happened to look up, and I love popcorn. I love popcorn. And I noticed these bags of popcorn hanging on those, you know, those little end caps while you're checking out. And I found this. Oh my gosh, Peg, she would love that. Okay, here we go. Joe. Corbiere, 1620, Davitt, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, 49783. She would love that. That would brighten her day. That would brighten her day. Okay, so this popcorn. So it's called Rob's Backstage Popcorn. Oh, I don't know, Sam. I don't know, Sammy. Let me ponder that one for a bit. I bet Debbie Pack would come to Sault Ste. Marie. Would you bet, Deb? That's not very far to come. You come straight across the UP. So this isn't it, Vicky? Isn't it? I know. I'm still trying to figure out where I want to hang it. And I need to hurry up because Jeff's going out of town again this weekend, which I'm kind of looking forward to, you guys, because that means I've got the whole weekend all to myself. All to myself. Okay, so this popcorn it's called Rob's Backstage Popcorn. So the story goes that this Rob guy is the dad of one of the, I think, the bass guitar player for the Jonas Brothers. And he makes popcorn. And for a long time, it was just their kind of backstage treat, right? Oh, thank you, Vicky. Thank you. Anyway, there's this one. Well, so it's available at Safeway and Walmart. So check it out. So there's one called Original, and it's savory, sweet, and salty. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. And then there's this one called Mumbai Nights. So it's all Indian spices. It's so delicious. I'm telling you, it's just a nice treat. So if you get the chance, everybody has a Walmart. Look for it at Walmart. Oh, I got another card in the, well, it was delivered to my house, actually, from Tessa, who, sorry, there you go. Tell me when you've got it, Peggy. I'll just set it here. How's that? So my friend Tessa has a new foster, and look at how tiny his foot is. Look at how teeny tiny his foot is. But look at this card that she made from a jelly print, right? That's the background. Then she did his footprint and backed that. And then she's got a strip of my dotted, my artsy circles washi tape. And then she did a stamped thanks that she embossed and then put foil on top of. You guys, it's so shiny. It's so pretty. Anyway, so there's that. What was the... Oh! And I got something in the mail, and that person did not sign it. And so, please tell me who went to Mission San Miguel. Oh my gosh. So Nancy, she brought him to Sunday dinner, and holy smokes. Can I talk to you about how darling that little teeny tiny peanut is? And you know, I told Tessa, I go, here's the thing. Nothing will ever piss you off when you're holding a baby. It's the most delightful way to pass the time is to hold a baby. And I did as much as I could while she was here. Okay, so somebody visited San Miguel Mission, and they didn't sign the card, and so I'm like, oh my God, racking my brain. Greetings from California. Ever since you posted using photos of colors and patterns as jumping off points for journaling, I've been looking at things differently. On my recent vacation, I took several odd photos, LOL, and thought this altar area might work. Look at it. Oh my God. What needs to be a card sentiment? Oh my, right? I'm telling you, there's nothing like holding a baby, is there? And he's just as sweet. So he is 3 weeks old. I think he might be 4 weeks this week. Anyway, so if you are the, nothing can piss you off. Nothing. I mean, granted, I've not been in a situation where horrible things were happening around me while I was holding a baby, but you get the idea. So anyway, let me know if you were the person who sent me this card, because I want to chat about it more. So let's see, do I have anything else here in my to be shared stack? I don't think so. So I'm going to pull my piece of artwork back over here, and I want to talk about a couple of other things. Oh. So did you know that today is the spring equinox? So I did some research, and I found out that spring equinox and the first day of spring are two different things, actually. Meteorologists measure the year differently than astronomers. So astronomers say that the vernal equinox, which spring equinox, this year starts on Tuesday, March 19th. Meteorologists say that the first day of spring is March 1st. But we kind of go by the spring equinox more. And the spring equinox happens when the sun crosses the equator from south to north, bringing warmth and sun back to the northern hemisphere. I thought that was lovely. I thought that was just lovely. So, so that's why I thought these beautiful springy flowers, that would be a fun thing for us to, fiddle with a little bit. So I have oh, my colored pencils. I thought that might be a fun way to add just a little bit of more dimension. So I'm just adding little tiny bits and pieces of color. And I'm doing all of our techniques that we do always, where we do back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. We just do the little crevices of color, right? So right now I'm just playing with some yellow. So, oh, I'm loving this so much. But I really want to, so I have a neon pink colored pencil, and I'm thinking I want to add a little bit of that, because I think that's going to brighten things, and that's kind of where I'm going. And you wouldn't think neon would be the thing to use in this case, but it's going to, I have a couple thoughts on neons. I think a little bit goes a long way, right? But it is also quite a color enhancer. So do you, I don't know if you can see down there how this neon is really bringing all those colors out again. Like all of the other color, it's just brightening everything. So just back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Again, my pencil's barely touching my substrate. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. And remember, we can continue to blend these out, right? So I'm doing this neon pink every place where I put the pink pan pastel, right? Back, forth, back, forth. There we go. I hope that you can see that. So I'm just adding little bits. Hey, Kathy, how are you? I think about you every day too, because I have your little embroidered piece on the bulletin board right above my desk. Oh, golly. So Jeff and I went for a ride in the desert on Sunday because I wanted to see those wildflowers. Oh my gosh, this hot pink is just, or neon pink I should say, is doing the trick. It's brightening everything just the way I wanted it to. Waco, Texas. There's an amazing store there, Kat. So are you guys visiting? Do you remember when I was working on a, assignment for Adorn It when I was doing the state collages. Do you remember? And we were driving to California, and I was messaging back and forth with Kathy. Like, tell me things that are, that make Alabama amazing. And oh my gosh, we just went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I loved it. Wait, that wasn't you, Kathy. That was someone else. That was, her name started with an A. Allison something. Allison. Kathy's gone to some very cool art exhibits. Okay, so I feel like the neon pink has done its job. Like, it's brightened everything, right? So let's see if you can see what I see. How it's just really started to bring everything to light. What was the other thing I wanted to talk to you about? Oh, so Jeff and I went for a ride in the desert because I wanted to see wildflowers. And you know, we've had so much rain. The desert was just in bloom. It was so green, but the skies were super dark, like it was going to rain again. And Keely and Peg, the Outback, did great. Okay, so here's my wildflowers. I don't know. I will post pictures of them. But here's the wildflowers I picked while I was out there. This, I believe, is a form of lupine. Right here, this purple. And, oh my golly, they're so pretty. I know, let's see if I can make this go a little bit higher. Whoops. Well, there's a shot. There, you can see a little bit. Look at this. Isn't this something? Look at the shape. Look at the, I'm loving it so much. And these guys, I will look up what these are, and look at this gorgeous stem where it's just this crazy, like, kind of a curvy stem. I love it, love it, love it. Anyway, I just had to share it. Yes, Kathy, isn't that something? So, and can I tell you, and you know, here's the thing, Keels, I didn't even have all of the flowers weren't out yet. I don't know if I missed them or if I was too early or too late, but look, I didn't find any desert poppies, so I might have missed those. And they're so pretty because their leaves are so delicate and they just flutter in the breeze. Oh, they're so pretty. But it did start to rain, and we took like a way back trail. Oh my gosh. But here's, oh, Kathy, I was going to tell you. So lupine, some people call them lupin. Some people call them lupine, I think, depending on where you are in the country. Anyway, they're everywhere. Like, I am a wildflower connoisseur. And I will tell you, last summer when Keely and I and our other friends were on a girls' trip and on the east coast of Canada, the lupine were big and so abundant everywhere. They were just everywhere. Everybody take a drink. I haven't been very good about that, reminding us to take a drink. They were so abundant and so beautiful. Oh, I wanted to give everybody a heads up that this Thursday is our Pop and Paint Party Art Journal edition. And remember, we are concentrating on the color green for the month of March. And so, and Thursday is actually International Color Day. So, bring your green stuff and your misawaros. We'll be doing an entry in our art journals with that. Look at this, is kind of a neon, well, it's actually called luminous red. Oh, I was one of those people, Kathy. I was absolutely one of those people that stopped and took a million pictures of those lupines. They're so pretty. They have them in Michigan too. I do spray a fixative on the pastels when I'm all done, because do you see it's already smearing? But I want to come in with this neon-y color and see what I can do. what it can add. So if you don't want, if you want a completely smooth blend, then don't add colored pencils, because the colored pencils are adding a bit of texture. So that's something to consider when you're filling your posies with color. I was just feeling like I'm going to add just a teeny tiny bit in the itty bitty corners of this little fold. If I do that circly blend, oh my gosh, so do you remember last week I told you about my email being hacked? Can I tell you the nightmare? So I didn't send an email last week because I thought I had rectified it, but something told me, oh, I know what it was. Okay, so Wednesday morning, people started emailing me saying, or texting me and saying, hey, did you send this email? So if you get a weird email from me asking about Amazon gift cards, delete it. Delete it, delete it, delete it. Do not click the link. Do not, oh my gosh. But it would be from my gscott36 email. So I got hacked, and I found out because people were emailing or messaging me and telling me that they got this weird email. And so I changed my passwords on everything, and then I realized quickly that I wasn't receiving any emails. So what happened was that those stinking hackers, and I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But anyway, they hacked my email because I clicked a link. Don't click a link. My husband is always telling me not to click links. If it looks suspicious, don't do it. But they were tricky. And here's what happened. Because Cox is changing our email to, we're transferring our Cox email to Yahoo. So they knew that was happening, and they picked the perfect time to send out these bogus emails that said, like, Cox Care. They worded it in such a way that you thought that it was from Cox, and it was, you need to click this link to make sure you continue getting your email. Well, I did it, and I'm so sorry, because it has turned into the biggest nightmare. So what they did was, like, I stopped everything by changing my email, or my passwords, right? But then when they hacked it, they somehow got a hold of all of my sent emails and sent them to themselves, and anything that I received from Wednesday until Sunday is when we finally figured out the terrible puzzle. And when I say we, I mean Jeff. All my emails that came there, they had them sent to them. It's such a nightmare. I can't describe. So don't click a link. You don't want to be like your friend Ann. So I told you about Ornamentally Yours, and that's going to be so much fun. And International Color Day, which we're going to celebrate on Thursday. We talked about, let's see. I talked about the trip to the desert. Where am I on time? Oh, I still have about 10 minutes. So, oh, Tessa, that's so cute. I was just sharing with the group your card and the story about that cute little baby bear that came to dinner on Sunday night. And absolutely. Absolutely. And if it looks slightly weird, don't open it. And it will always look slightly weird. Like, it'll be like 2 combined fonts, or there'll be like an extra letter or an extra whatever in there. Let's see. I'm thinking. I might come in with a little gel pen. See what I can do with that. So I'm doing just a little bit of stippling with my gel pen. This is adding just a little bit of dimension too. Oh, so pretty. Well, hi, Sherry. How are you? Oh, my goodness. I haven't talked to you in a long time. So we are playing with pastels, so you have to watch from the beginning. Pastels and pan pastels, or whatever pastels you happen to have. So I want to continue to play with these. I want to continue to, you know what I think I want to do? Just a little. A little bit of deeper color in the very center. And you see that neon has totally like popped everything. And there you can see the, whoa, sorry, that's a little too close. There, maybe, then now you can see the gel pen stippling. There we go. Right. I really want to come in with my micron and see if I can do some mark making. Let's see. And a little bit of these folds of the flower. Thanks, Sherry. Sherry uses my washi tape in so many ways. I love seeing it, Sherry. I love it, seeing it in your journals. So do you see how you can use mark making in a multitude of ways, right? So our stippling is a form of mark making. These little lines, this line work, that's a form of mark making. Hash marks, that's a form of mark, like cross hatching, that's a form of mark making. I'm feeling like in 2022, I believe, we did some pages in our art journal with some mark making, like we made like a mark making reference chart. I feel like let's do that again in this year's art journal, where we can just have those. Let's do that next week. We can have those just right there for us to refer to anytime we're kind of feeling stuck with mark making. Let's come up with some new ones. I have 4 new ones, Sherry. And so some of these lines, some of the these little line marks are kind of going over each other. So I'm slightly changing the direction to see if I can get some more dimension with that. So I wanted to share with you. Do you see the difference? I know Keely is a good mark maker. So I'm digging that. I'm digging that, you guys. Let's see. Like I said, take your time. Really take your time with your creating. Remember, artwork doesn't prioritize productivity. I read that someplace recently and I thought, that's the dang truth. Artists don't sorry, get a little sidetracked. Artwork doesn't prioritize productivity. So remember that when you're creating. It's kind of crazy, isn't it, Vicki? Like how, and I will say, especially once you get that second eye done, it's like the lights get turned on. All of the colors seem so much more brilliant. I'm so happy I did it. I'm so happy I did it. So remember, mail your cards and letters. Be sure to make sure that you're in the Ornamentally Yours Facebook group so that you can take that fun class. Check out the bonus video over in Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group. And it features deco foil and a deco foil pen. and your art journal. Don't click on links. And think of a way to celebrate the beginning of spring. Like, what can we do? Well, we're painting flowers, so what's more spring than flowers? Certainly. But I don't know, plant a flower or look in the seed catalog or, I don't know. Find a way to just celebrate. It doesn't have to be a huge way. If the sun is shining, go outside and get the sun on your face. All the things, all the things. So, until tomorrow, and in Stitch Along with Anne Corbiere-Scott Facebook group, go out and make it a terrific Tuesday and first day of spring. I adore you all. Thanks so much for hanging with me, for creating with me. It means the more than you can ever know. More than you can ever know. Oh, what are you going to go see, Vicky? I know we have kind of staggering spring breaks here. I think Tessa's on spring break this week. Lauren was on spring break last week. Oh, there you go, Nance. A walk. Couldn't you think of anything cooler to do on the first day of spring? A kid movie. I know, but sometimes they're really fun too, right? Okay, so I will say goodbye, and I will go drink my drink and eat my Mumbai Nights popcorn for my little break, and then I'll be drawing. I adore you all. Thanks so much for hanging. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.